Welcome back, beautiful souls today. I'm thrilled to walk you through my latest watercolor Silhouettes Over Sydney Harbour. This piece is a meditation on light, shadow, and that magical stillness between day and night. Let's paint it together. 4 steps. Pure joy. Step 1. Sketching. We begin with a soft pencil. I'm using a 5B, keeping the lines light and loose. Don't stress about perfection here. We're just mapping out the opera house shells on the right, hinting at the harbor bridge on the far left. And roughing in the curved foreground promenade, a few gestural lines for the boats on the left. And a suggestion of the city skyline in the background. The pencil is your compass. Keep it gentle so it disappears beneath the watercolor later. Step to sky and first wash, building the atmosphere. This step is where the painting comes alive. So take your time first. Generously wet the entire paper with clean water. We want the surface to glisten. This is called wet. Wet. And it's how we get those gorgeous, soft, blooming washes. While the paper is still wet, drop in cadmium yellow near the horizon line. Right behind where the opera house will sit. This becomes our light source, the glowing heart of the sunset. Then, sweep permanent orange across the mid-sky in loose, confident strokes. Let it bleed upward and downward naturally. Trust the water to do the work. A touch of cadmium red near the cloud edges deepens the warmth and drama. Now, while everything is still damp, bring in cobalt blue at the top of the sky. Watch how it drifts and mingles with the orange. That tension between warm and cool is the emotional core of this painting. Finally, little neutral tint into the darker cloud masses. Don't overwork it. Just nudge it in, and let the water carry it. For the harbor water below, mirror those same colors, orange and yellow reflections, with cooler blue-grays along the edges. The water should feel alive, shimmering. Set this aside to dry completely before moving on. Step 3. Detailing shadows, silhouettes, and life. Now the paper is dry, and it's time to bring in the soul of this painting. I start with the opera house sails. These are the centerpiece, so I give them my full attention using sepia. I paint the deep shadow sides of each shell, letting the warm wash beneath show through on the lit faces. The sails aren't white. They're saturated with reflected orange and gold from the sky. I mix yellow ochre into the sepia for the midtones, and burnt sienna wherever I want a warmer reddish-brown glow. Work from dark to light. And remember, the contrasts here are what make the sails read as three-dimensional forms against the sky. Next, I move to the city skyline in the background. This is pure silhouette work, a flat, dark mix of sepia and neutral tint painted in confident shapes. Don't overthink the buildings. Keep them loose and abstracted. They're memory, not architecture. The harbor bridge peeks out on the left, just a few structural strokes in the same dark mix, barely visible against the glowing sky. Suggestion is everything here. I paint the boats on the left harbor edge. These are loosely rendered masts as thin, dark lines. Hulls as warm burnt sienna shapes, sitting low in the orange reflective water. A few horizontal strokes beneath them suggest their reflections. Now I move to the foreground. The curved promenade and the figures walking along it are painted with quick, gestural marks, little dashes and dots of sepia and burnt sienna suggesting people in motion without overly defining them. The canopies and restaurant tents on the lower right get yellow ochre washes with burnt sienna shadows, giving them warmth and weight. Keep the edges soft where they meet the light, crisp where they cast shadow. Step back and assess the overall. Balanced does the eye travel from the foreground walkway, up through the opera house, to the glowing sky? Good, we're nearly there. Step 4. Highlights connecting everything with light. This is the final magic touch. It requires a light hand, using opaque white watercolor. I pick out the brightest highlights, the glint on the water's surface, the sharp light edges of the opera house sails, the glow of lampposts along the promenade, and the brilliant sun disk in the sky. A few flicks and dots of white bring sparkle to the harbor reflections, and give the figures along the walkway a sense of light touching. These small whites are what unify the innate whole painting. They create rhythm and lead the eye across the canvas, from foreground to background and back again. Step back. Take a breath. It's done. And there she is, Silhouettes Over Sydney Harbour, a single poetic pause between light and shadow, painted in 4 steps. If this brought you joy or inspiration, please give it a like. It truly means the world to me. Subscribe and follow along for more watercolor adventures. Every painting is a new journey, and I'd love for you to be part of this one. Until next time, keep your brushes wet and your heart full. See you soon.